Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
Do you see the steam actually coming out of my head when I think point this direction to make sure I point in the right way? Is that why you always laugh when I do it?
I do.
Good, because
I see the
there's a
struggle.
lot of thinking that goes into that.
I see the struggle.
It is because it's like when I look at the screen, you're to my right, but I have to point like off into nowhere so that I point to you. So and it's the first world problems of podcast hosting.
That's right.
The little things they don't tell you about. So Drew, it is not the new year, but let me wish you happy new year, because when this airs, it will be 2024. We made it.
Yes, we did. Happy New Year to you, Dom. Hope you had a great 2023, and I hope you have an even greater 2024, you and your family.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Same to you guys. We're kicking off 2024 in style. So
that's right. That's right. You're heading off to the sun.
That's right, man. Good. Get some vitamin D. It's good for you.
I'm jealous, buddy.
So, like you said, man, I got a sleeveless Corona shirt with your name on it, buddy.
I thought I had the only one.
We'll make sure you get another one, because you can never have too many of those.
Would you like me to, start and drive your Beamer around a little bit while you're away to keep it warm?
Oh, that would be nice of you. Unfortunately, it's still out at BMW of Atlantic City.
Oh, is it?
They did not get it back to me yet. So, but that's okay, man. You can't rush good things.
No, and I don't know. My son had a nail in his tire, and we're going to take it over to Milvoi's, the best tire, and they were closed today. So I was a little surprised they were closed, but hey, good for them. Hopefully they have a nice long weekend. There's a first shout out is Milvoi Best Tire. The Milvoi family are really super nice people, and they get a.
You don't just plug that yourself, Drew?
I just thought of it. I didn't have it on my list, but they're very nice people.
Go get the kit. In and out. You're done. So they'll probably do a better job though.
Yeah, I don't mess with cars.
First shout outs. All right, so who else we got on our shout out list?
I do have a couple on our shout out list. So number one is congratulations to Jane French and Billy McMahon. They are the 2023 recipients of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Service Award. So excellent. Congrats to Jane and Billy, and well-deserved, I have to say. Well-deserved. Second shout out is to Chris and Donna Ryan. Donna and Chris both are listeners / watchers of our podcast. And they were, we had a local holiday decorating contest. And
because why wouldn't there be a contest for something like that in Ocean City?
That's right. I'm surprised there's not a parade around it, ending in fireworks. But yes, they won the best decorated holiday house contest.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Yes, awesome. Yeah. Congrats.
I'll have to drive by and see it. Before I leave
me
here.
Too. I drove down Asbury last night again after sunset, and once again, I've said it before, our avenue is the best. It's beautiful at Christmas, and it was warm yesterday, so there was a lot of people walking around still. The avenue is awesome, but that's an aside. My final shout out is to Maeve Smith and Matt Hoffman on being named the Press of Atlantic City Runners of the Year. We've mentioned Maeve before. We haven't mentioned Matt, but congrats to both of them. Coach Purdue was named Coach of the Year, and the boys cross country team was named the Team of the Year. So shout out to the Raiders runners.
Way to go, team. Awesome.
Yeah, good for them.
Uh,
I mentioned last episode, the cross country team won the South Jersey Group 3 championship.
That they did.
Yeah.
That they did. So very cool. Good. Shout out to them. That's quite an honor. Up there in a long line of great runners, that have distance runners and sprinters that have come out of Ocean City.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, when you get to run right on the beach and the boardwalk every day, it's pretty easy to build a program, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we're kicking off this year, 2024, with an idea that we've had from some of our close friends, a local legend series where we will interview some of the influential people in our community who have, given back to the community, dedicated their time, and, helped shape Ocean City into the community that it is. And, Drew, you reached out and got possibly, Mr. Ocean City himself, Mayor Jay Gillian, for the first installment of this series.
King of the Natives, Dom, and I was happy that the mayor agreed to come on our show, and I think what we're looking to do with this local legend series is try to get to know the individual, not just through, in this case, politics, but we'll have people from various entities and backgrounds, and you might know them for what they do, but do you know the person, right? So I think we'd like to get to know the person. So that's what we're going to try to do. It should be fun.
It should be fun. We got some good rapid fire questions here. So when we come back, we will be on with King of the Natives, as Drew put it, Mayor Jay Gillian. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. Drew, I can't believe you booked this true local legend here for us in our first installment of the series. On with us is the mayor himself, Jay Gillian. Jay, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Glad you could join us, Mr. Mayor.
No problem, Drew.
So, as Dom and I discussed, we'd like to ask you some questions, and we're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk policy. We thought it would be interesting for people to get to know you as a person. Okay. I'll start with, when you and I sort of knew each other. We knew who each other were, but weren't really friends. And someone tried to talk me into running against you for mayor, your first term, if you remember. And I said, absolutely no. But you got wind of it and you asked me to breakfast. And that was the first time you and I sat down and talked. And
a lifetime ago.
A lifetime ago. And I have to say, back then, I was really impressed with that you would want to sit down and talk to me and get to know me. And I think your approach was, let's not get ugly. Let's keep this clean. And that was kind of how you started. And I said, whoa, wait, I'm not running for anything. And we sort of became friends from there.
And but that's what Ocean City is about. We have so many personalities, And it's be nice, be kind. I know I get kidded about that sometimes, but it's really the best way to be, isn't it?
It certainly is.
100%.
I'm totally on board with that.
Good.
Yeah. And as another personal anecdote, so a couple years later, Hurricane Sandy hit. The mayor and his team tapped me to start OCNJ Care, which was a cleanup and recovery effort from the hurricane. And the mayor and I knew each other, but we didn't know each other well still at that point. And you hear things and you have this persona, I guess, Jay, right? And the one thing that turned the tide for me personally was, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. You may not remember it because it was a crazy time. A week or 2 weeks after Hurricane Sandy, the city was busy cleaning up an awful lot, right? And we had businesses that were still shut down, and we have people that were not in their homes. And I had gotten wind of a family who lost their home, a family of 5, and they moved to this little garage apartment. And I happened to talk to Michelle, or I actually happened to talk to you that day, and you passed it on to Michelle that they didn't have any clothes. They had a trash bag of their belongings that they walked through the flood. And I happened to get a bag of coats given to me by another listener, Dom. We've mentioned her before, Kathy Rymet. And by the grace of God, the coats were the right sizes for this family. So I went to bring these coats to these folks, and I pull up, and there's Jay and Michelle Gillian getting out of their car at this garage apartment with, it had to be 12 bags of clothing for this family. And I remember Michelle saying, girls, they and women, they need to have matching clothes. They need to look good, right? So here they are with like 12 bags of clothing. And, that was very personal to me. And it really kind of showed me the kind of people that Jay and Michelle Gillian really are. So that just a personal story I wanted to share.
That I tell you, that Sandy really brought this community together. As horrible as it was, and it could have been worse, but I learned so much. I realized what kind of team we had here at City Hall, but also the community. And you're right. I mean, you know a lot of people, but you really don't get to know somebody until something of that tragedy. And it was tip to tip. Everybody felt it. And how Ocean City got together, and I'm so thankful. We were probably one of the first ones to really get back. I know I got in trouble because I let people over the bridges before the governor gave me the okay. But, back then it was the turning point for me is when Greg Johnson, we went down the A Street Church in Frank Donato. And every 2 weeks, do you remember that? Every 2 weeks, they needed to know if they were going to move or not. And that's when, the housing authority, I looked at all the people in that room and their faces and just the magnitude of how gloomy it was. And they had no hope. And I remember talking to Frank and I said, Frank, I don't care how much money it takes. We got to get these guys back in their houses. And with all of us working and the local contractors and all that, we got them back in their houses in January. And I think that's probably one of our greatest things that we've done as a community is we saved that community and got them back in homes, and a lot of good friendships from that too. So it's I think that's been one of the best things I think we've all done.
Jay, I have to agree. I think that might be the greatest thing you've ever done as mayor. That's just my personal opinion.
It's a great team. You know how I am, Drew. I appreciate the accolades, but at the end of the day, is I am so fortunate to have people like you around me, and that's what makes Ocean City the best. I'm just blessed with the great people around me.
And a lot of people did come together, especially for the Pex Beach Village.
Yeah.
A lot of people came together for that.
And we continue, not to talk politics, but, we continue to work with that, agency or, with that community. And, we did the Spy Tail Towers, and we're going to do more, but, we're making the houses look like houses instead of, concrete things from back in the 60s. So, again, that was the tide that really got Ocean City back on track again. And I'm really thankful to be a part of that.
It did. All right, let's start with the questions.
All right, go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Where were you born?
Shore Medical Center. So it was Shore Memorial Hospital back then, but 1964, I just turned 59 years old. So, and actually sit on the board. So it's pretty cool to be able to, be born there. My brothers were born there. Some of my grandkids have been born there. We just had another one last month. Sadie and Noah had a little Theodore. So it's pretty cool.
We're going to get to that. To that. Have you ever lived outside of Ocean City?
Never.
Wow. That is a true native right there.
Yes, I don't go away very much. I just, this is my home. So, again, we're blessed to be in Ocean City, especially nowadays. But no, I've been around the town. I've been in all 4 wards, as they say. But
that's right, you have.
It's you can't beat this place. Come on. So.
That's true.
And thank you, by the way. I think property values increased when you moved out of my ward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My wife's not happy about it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
But no, we miss you in the neighborhood. Not sure I miss Michelle barreling down my street, but we miss you.
I tell you, I've lived again a lot of places in Ocean City, but at the time we moved down at the north end, it was something I've never thought I would do, and being so close to the beach, and it was a different part in the neighborhood. At that time, my life, a few years ago, it really helped me. I always say with mental health, but that was probably one of the best decisions Michelle and I ever made, was moving down there, because the neighborhood was so good, but it was close to Wonderland to a degree, and it just, I tell you, it's really helped me. So
you lived in your neighborhood's great.
Oh, they really are. So
yeah,
we miss them.
Yeah. Okay. What was your first car?
79 blue Camaro.
Wow.
Ooh,
79
wow.
Camaro.
I can never, that was, I was, again, it was, Harry Claus might have got it from my buddy Harry, but I just, and a friend of mine, we went to Sears Auto Shop and we got the shocks, and, I jacked it up a little bit. So,
right.
Nice. We blew it. I mean, that car I destroyed. We put over 100,000 miles on it, but it was because I had a friend up in North
miles.
Yeah, I had a friend up in North Wales, Pennsylvania, that actually lives here now, and an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and we just go back and forth. But that was a cool car. I was very lucky.
What is your favorite band?
Oh, well, everybody knows I'm a big Elton John fan. But I've been listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen lately. So
no kidding.
Yeah, I every now and then I change it a little bit. I actually went to 2 concerts to see Elton, Madison Square Garden, and I think the first show I looked at Michelle and I said, I think I've had enough. So she looked at me like I was crazy. But no, Elton's been a big part of me. It was my older brother Jimmy's favorite band, and we always had a connection there with that. So
that's my next question. How many times have you seen Elton John?
Oh, I mean, my first concert was with my brother Jimmy, Don Johnson, and Karen Tarlecki, and it was up at the Tower Theater, and it was probably the late 70s. Wow. I just remember we were so far back, and I could see him in this little pink outfit. But I've seen him all over. I mean, it's to Vegas, to all around here to Florida, but Elton was, like I said, Elton was more of a family thing. I'm a little sentimental, so it just made me feel close to my brothers a little bit. So I think that was my love. My brother Jimmy could play the piano, and he could play Elton John music, and it made me feel at home at the concerts, and so it's always been a special place.
That's very cool.
Awesome.
What is your favorite restaurant outside of Ocean City?
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I say I don't like to eat. I don't drink, and I'm not. So, I mean, we go to, Ventura's Offshore Cafe.
It's a good spot.
Yeah. I just,
good food there.
Yeah. It's honestly, when my wife, she'll like a glass of wine or two, and she doesn't really eat either. So we're not big foodies. So I really eat to survive. I don't really enjoy it. I know that's sad, but
yeah, I'm going to try and adopt that motto 2024 for myself here.
But I know we try a lot of places. So
how about your favorite ice cream?
Strawberry. Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs strawberry.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
my go-to.
strawberry guy too.
Yeah,
No hesitation there at all. No hesitation.
Yeah, yeah, I just had that last night again. So
that's good stuff. I'm a strawberry guy too.
Yeah.
Okay. Now a tough one here.
Right.
Flyers, Eagles, Sixers, or Phillies?
I started off with the Flyers and still a big Flyers fan. I don't watch them as much. Eagles, but they're just too emotional for me. So it's hard to follow any Phillies teams, to be honest with you.
It is.
So, but I was more of I used to play ice hockey and street hockey and roller hockey and all that kind of stuff. So I'm more of a ice hockey guy, but I guess more of the Eagles. So
Eagles. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Between you and Michelle, how many kids and how many grandkids?
Okay. Well, we have 7 kids and they're all married. So then that's 14. We have 11 grandkids. Another one should be happening anytime now. JP and Maggie are having a baby, and it should be,
Nice.
anytime. And then my son, Joshua, and his wife, Lauren, are having one probably around Valentine's Day. So we'll be up to 13 grandkids.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
You know what I love about that answer, Jay? I love that you gave us your kids, but you included their spouses as your total.
Yeah,
that's a great answer.
It's funny, and being in politics and all that kind of stuff, I think you can handle personalities. But I tell you, when you get 7 kids together and then they got 7 more with their spouses, wow. So it's a good time though. Again, Michelle and I've been very blessed, and I think the kids have all been good. So no complaints, and the grandkids are just. That's just something that is really cool.
13. God bless you, man.
Oh, I know. Thank God we have the rides.
That's right. So I'm one of 7. So I feel you on having that many kids.
Oh. And they all have their own personalities too. So it's amazing getting them all in a room.
I'm sure. All right. So what is your favorite thing to do as mayor?
I like getting things done. I like the team that I have around me. I am not a parade mayor. My anxiety is high. I have a tough time in parades. I'm just not that kind of a person. I'd rather get my hands dirty. I mean, I've been doing that my whole life. My dad, my grandfather taught me that. And, but I like getting things done. I don't like no. I'm getting better at no. But I just, this is such an amazing place. And, when you grow up here, and whether you're here a day or your whole life, it really, there's a magic here. And I know it sounds corny, but I take this I take it seriously. I enjoy it. Because the team and council has always worked very well with me, and that's been a positive thing here. But this isn't a joke. And we're a lot of millions of dollars, and we've done a lot of work in Ocean City. And it's like, even come election times, I take it seriously. It's just this is serious. And sometimes people ask me, why do I do it? And I do it because of what happened with Sandy. And being mayor, I've been able to marry 3 or 4 of my kids, which was really cool. So
you married me too.
Yeah. Say, all right, there. How many
go.
years ago?
Is that right, Dom?
Yeah.
You never told me that.
11 or 12 years ago. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually going to say, I was surprised that you didn't say officiating weddings was going to be the thing you did at mayor, because you did such an amazing job for my wife and I.
Thank you.
We got engaged in November of 2011.
Right.
And then in March of 2012, my son decided to show up.
Oh.
So we had to get married, and we came to the city, and you officiated for us, and we got married again later. But I would say that the ceremony that we had at the city was much more beautiful, much more intimate and meaningful to us than the one we had on the beach in that June that we had been planning. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it. I'm not, and again, even with that, I have a script. I made a mistake one time because my wife says, don't be funny. I made a mistake one time at a beach wedding. And I said to the groom, I said, are you sure you still got time? And the future mother-in-law heard me. She said, Mayor, not funny. And I was like, wow. So I never again, and it's fun. It's nice because I get to know people, and it's usually my first contact with them. And it's nice. I used to do a lot of them. And when COVID hit, we sort of slowed it down, and, we ask everybody to donate to the food cupboard. But no, it's cool. It's and again, you saw it when you do these marriages, you can tell how much people love each other. And I've done over 100 or so, and it's real quick. It's a few minutes, and I sort of get in, get out kind of thing, and let them enjoy it. But when you see people looking at each other, it's one of the nice things about being the mayor.
That's awesome.
So,
Tom, I never knew that. I never knew the mayor married you.
I married, my first person I married was actually a guy that worked for me. We did it on the beach. And the first time I did it like Bud and I used to do it. I had the black gown, and I had a Bible that had stuff taped to the Bible. And I'm like, I couldn't sell it, So I had to.
No, that doesn't sound like.
So now we make a nice little thing, and so it's sort of a memory thing. But it's because again, it's about the people that you're marrying, and it's cool. So I'm very thankful. Yeah.
All right. So on the other side is, what is your least favorite thing to do as mayor?
I don't like the hate. I hate the politics. This last election, I know we don't want to talk, but I don't like the lying. I don't like, because it's an election, you can lie. There's truths and non-truths and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, is Ocean City deserves better. And if you're going to be mean and nasty, then you shouldn't get into politics in Ocean City. Go somewhere else. And I think because we're such a close-knit community, and when you're not honorable and you're not honest, and we're all human beings, so we all make mistakes, but I hate the most. I mean, I don't mind the phone calls. I say the one time I got a phone call and they said there was too many shells on the beach, so, but no, there's really nothing I hate other than that. I don't like, people using politics to say whatever they want. And Ocean City is smarter, but that really is Drew. And you had a taste a little bit with me, so you know what it can be like. And and that's what I hate about computers and social media. And I know we're on it right now, and I know it's a way of getting the word out, but I just
but that's the downside.
Yeah, and we need to educate better on that. I hope in schools that we do better with like what we're doing right now, where they're educating the good and the bad. But that's it. Other than that, there's really, it's, if I can't get something done, I'm getting better. I used to be a lot more needy when it came to that. But other than that, that's it. There's really nothing that gets me down.
Good answer. So this is a good one, Jay. I think you'll like this.
All right.
If you could invite 3 people to dinner, past or present, who would they be?
Wow. Right away, I would get my grandfather, my pop-up, because I didn't spend enough time and didn't ask him the right questions. I love history, so right away, as soon as you said that, I thought about Abraham Lincoln, to be honest with you, and him. I'm trying to think of somebody else in history, but my grandfather, Abraham Lincoln, would be cool. And then really anybody from the past. I look towards more presidents, because just to see how the country was. I always wish I could go back in time to Ocean City and just see how it was, how it really started. But I can't think of anybody else that I really would. I think, right. Those 2 right now, and then really anybody else, but they're the 2 that popped in my mind right away.
That's good. Abraham Lincoln and your
grandfather.
Great
answer. And the other thing too is, and I know this is, I lost my brother when I was in high school, my brother Johnny, and I'd like to, and that's not really what you asked, but those 3 I would love to see, talk again.
That would be it sounds like that might be a fun table to sit at.
Yeah, my brother Johnny was fun. So.
All right, last question.
Okay.
If you were forced to leave Ocean City, where would you live?
Wow. I have no idea.
Good one, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
That's got to be hard because you've never lived
Yeah,
anywhere
no,
else.
I
You
mean,
don't leave that often.
when we were younger, my dad flew, so we went up to North Conway, New Hampshire. It was right in the middle of New Hampshire, and we had a place up there. We go up for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it was cool because I spent a lot of time with my brothers, and we skied, and we went not hiking. That's what they would call it now, but we would get into things. But that was the only other place that I spent more time. But I honestly, I don't know. Wow. I mean, I'd probably ask Michelle where she'd like to go, but I honestly,
That's
I mean,
the answer. That's the
Good
answer.
answer.
I know.
Right there.
I think it would
I have to
be.
say though, I'm surprised because just in my head, and this is why these questions are good to get to know you, because in my head, I thought automatically you would have said Orlando.
Well, it's too busy. It's too busy now. I believe me. Yeah. And I shouldn't say that. From my understanding, is it's getting so developed down there. But no, I do like Orlando. I'll be honest with you. When I go away, there's nothing better than going into the Magic Kingdom. You know, I'm a Disney geek to a lot of ways, and that's where I learned that team philosophy. You know, what Walt Disney did and what they did down in Disneyland, I try to bring back here to the city as far as the team and treating, people correctly. But I love Orlando just because of Walt Disney World. But no, I don't. I am honestly, somewhere a little warmer, maybe it's where I can golf. I know my kids love North and South Carolina, but Charleston. I mean, I like visiting places, but I feel at home here. I don't know. They'll carry me out of Ocean City, I'm sure.
All right, so we'll hope that you don't get kicked out.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Like I said, I'm still human, so somewhere I'm sure I'll do something wrong, but who knows?
So I was married in North Carolina in Wrightsville Beach.
Right.
So that we're looking at that as a potential winter getaway.
Yeah, I would want something like Ocean City. I would. I don't want to slow down though. I think I love working. Between the park and City Hall. It keeps me busy. With Michelle, with the chamber.
Sure.
With the grandkids, and I don't want to stop. I want to keep on going. I love what I do at the amusement park, and I've gotten back into fixing the rides. That's probably something a lot of people don't know, that I actually fix the rides up there. I don't, and I got back in that over the last few years a lot more, and that's probably one of my biggest joys is, going in there, working, fixing a ride when it gets broken, trying to figure it out. It's a joy, and I just, working it's just, I don't know, it's all I know. So
well, I actually did know that about you, that you're a very hands-on owner, and you grew up fixing and taking care of the ride. So I did know that about you.
Yeah, no, it's enjoyable. It's and the thing is, it was funny, we were talking about it earlier. I mean, I was ahead. I was in there 24/7. And then when Dave Winslow's father was getting sick, they asked me to run for school board. And it really, that's what got me into I went to the Shore Medical Center, and then, we did the school board, which I loved. I've said that many times, Drew. I think the school board and the school is the most important thing. Here I can always fix a road, but the kids, you lose them. You get them a 1 year at a time. And I'm really passionate about that. I have my eyes on, what's going on there, because I think we still have the greatest system in the world. So it'll all work out. But that was a well time spent as president and the board members and all that kind of stuff. I've been very, very lucky to have great people around me again. And the school board is probably another one of those times like Sandy that I really am proud of.
Well, I've always said our school is the heart of our city.
Absolutely.
Right? We have the lifeblood, we have the soul, we have the brain, but the school is the heart.
Yeah, it is, and it still does it. And we have great teachers, and again, everything can't be perfect. We have some hiccups, but the kids are pretty good. And COVID nobody saw. So we gotta get back, and politics are crazy at this time. But I still think Ocean City, being nonpartisan, I still think we can lead and do what's right for everybody. And, I don't, that's the thing is I don't like really following people. I love to figure out something new as well. Even like when we did the dredging or whatever we do, when someone says it can't be done or you got to wait, I just know let's lead. Let's show everybody how it can be done. And we've been very fortunate to be able to do that. And we did the school system, back when we were on it, the teachers, the grades, it was doing really great. Still is. I think the city, I'm proud of everything that we've done. And, it's again, you're a part of it. Both of you guys are a part of it because we have the greatest community. I mean, we might fight
Yes,
like
we
family,
do.
but, at the end of the day, nobody's going to push us around. That's for sure.
That's true.
And speaking of the school board, I know one of your guys, my friend and yours, Michael Allegretto, was elected to the school board, and
I think he's going.
we talked about it on this show. I'm personally, I'm very happy with the outcome.
I think again, Michael's been a friend. He worked at Wonderland. Actually, Michael was the first 2-time winner of the John David Gillian Brass Ring Award. We gave that out for the best team ever. I've been around Michael my whole life, and he's taught me a lot. And whether it was on the school board, and then when I became mayor, he was on council, and then asked him to join the team here. He's been, we all have some good things, but with Dottie McCrossin and George and Michael, I have a great team, and all of them. But Michael has been the steady for me because we the families, we have a lot in common with Ocean City, and he loves the amusement business, but he gets it. There's no punch clock. It's like when he heard today that I was doing this, he was here helping me just to make sure everything was right, and that's what a good team's all about. And I'm so lucky. But now he's a good guy, and
Mike he's a solid guy, right?
Yeah,
just a common sense, good person,
yeah.
and I like Cecilia. I'm not thrilled that she did not win re-election, but I'm glad Mike took one of the 2 seats available there.
Yeah, and it's again what Mike brings is what I was hoping for was, again, he brings some education and policies and procedures. Like he's been there, he's been the president, like he understands it. The problem is a lot of people, and this, Drew, they don't really know what their job is, and they see TV, and it's very regulated, and everybody thinks school board meetings or council meetings are time for giving back, and no, it's time to do work. There's times for everything, but when you're talking about kids, you have to stay on a strict diet of policies and procedures, because every time you open your mouth, you could hurt a kid. And I say that, sometimes people think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you, I do. Sometimes when you're quiet, you get more stuff done. And I think Michael is a quiet leader and again, it's a melting pot, and I think they have a good team, and we'll see what happens, right? You never know.
Yep.
So
they have a big task ahead of them, finding the right superintendent.
Yes, they need to take their time and get someone that is experienced. We're a unique system too, so we're not like other ones, and I think sometimes they try to put us in a box. And I think the OCC school system, how we are, I just think that we just have to be very careful and just make sure we take our time and get there. You got it. You know what? It's like I do here is you have to have the right hiring people. Sometimes like the board thinks they know how to hire people. Well, that's not our job. I have a firm that when I hire like senior staff or people that are going to be here forever, top jobs, I have them go through a hiring process. To me, I might like them, but unless you go through a process, and I think sometimes the school board has to have a little committee and you hire the right people and then you get the right person. But when you have a committee of the whole, it's difficult sometimes. Not that it can't be done, but when you're hiring somebody, because of the confidentiality and where you're getting them, and maybe they're leaving a job, that's confidentiality, whether it's counselor or the school board has to be ultimate. You just can't waver on that. And I think that's sometimes what happens, and we lose good people.
Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, but Dom was in the Pleasantville School District for how many years, Dom?
9 or 10.
9 years. Yeah.
On the school board?
No, I was just a
No.
school teacher back in the
Oh,
day.
okay. Well, and again, you see what, it between the administration and the school board and all that kind of stuff, it can be difficult. And the state of New Jersey is difficult. I mean, it is what it is. We all know that we're overregulated, but you can still make a difference. And I think, the school board, when they're all working together for the kids, and I say that because sometimes, again, people think, oh, it is for the kids, but, like I said, people need to make their living, but, teachers have it rougher and rougher. I can see it up at Wonderland. I have 50 or 60 kids, and wow, I don't know how teachers are doing it nowadays, but we can't give up. You got to keep figuring it out because they're our future. So all good things.
True.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. What are you doing now? What are you doing now?
Now I do digital marketing and search engine optimization. I got into the tech world.
Oh, that's a good thing. I am tech horrible, so that's why I'm away from the TV, and I'm surprised this is even working. But I got that's why Mike was here.
That's why Mike's here.
That's right.
Jay, if it wasn't for Dom, I wouldn't be on air, buddy.
We're just too old, Joe.
Yeah, I always joke about smoke signals, but it's the truth.
I have a window right here, and Drew's pigeon flies and leaves me the message, and then I send it back. So,
hey, they worked. No, just kidding.
It does. It gets the job done.
But no, I've heard you guys have been doing really well. So I congratulate you because, like you said, if you're getting to the community and you're getting good things out there and not, click stuff where, you're negative and all that. It's I know sometimes that gets the people, but we have enough instant media and all that stuff with that. We do need some good reporting and good news and talk about the good people of Ocean City. And I think that's what you guys have been doing. So I appreciate that.
That's what we're trying until today, of course.
I know. I brought the meter down. What can I tell you? At least I'm the first one, right? So
that's right.
It's only up from here.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
You'll definitely be a hard act to follow for sure.
No,
it was great to learn some more about you and see the softer side of the guy who dedicates so much of his time to the city, who may not be a parade mayor but is at every parade and at every meeting and doing all the things in front of the camera and behind the scenes to make Ocean City the great place that it is. So thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We really appreciate that.
It. And the one thing, I always, I talk about mental health and all that kind of stuff. And, I've have horrible anxiety, which can be crippling at times. And people think, oh, that could be a weakness or something like that. But I'm going to tell you something. And I've talked to a lot of people about it too, is anxiety is so big, especially with the kids now. And I hope, and I know it sounds corny sometimes, but I mean, I never thought I'd be the mayor. I never thought I'd be on the school board. I never thought I'd be on the Shore Medical Board or the things I've done and have grandkids and all that kind of stuff. And I just hope that, that people realize that, it's not the end of the world. You don't need a bunch of medicine and you don't need a bunch of crazy things. If you really get a good group of people around you, that really care and love you, you can really get through anything. And I've been very lucky with that because it's been a rough ride with me with that. And I mean, I could speak in front of 800 people. I will tell you this, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said no to this. I would not been able to handle this, the three of us talking. I'm not good with a couple of people. Like I said, I can stand a bunch of people, but that intimacy, you don't feel like you're worthy. And I know that sounds silly, but that's probably the biggest thing. If people don't know about me is that anxiety. And when you see the anxiety in people, you think, oh, he's stuck up, but it's that, when you don't drink, and I'll sort of end it with this, is when you don't drink, when you're younger, you don't have any social skills, because when you're drinking, you're dumb, and you get all your social skills in high school parties and college parties. And not that I haven't been at them, but I never really had that. So I had to become the mayor really to become social. And it's been a tough journey for me on that. But I'm glad I don't drink. But I just that's the one thing I hope if anybody gets to know me, is that at the end of the day it's so difficult, and especially to run for office and all that kind of stuff, because everybody wants to tear you down or make fun of you. And it hurts your family. But at the end of the day, is you have to do it because this city's worth it. And it's the mayor's probably saved my life. Being around the people, Drew, meeting people like you and Sandy, it got me out of that anxiety and really made me realize how important things are, and not to lose faith in myself. And it's been I feel better than I ever have, to be honest with you. So I appreciate that.
That's great, Jane. And it's
for you,
great
man.
that you're
Awesome.
open about it and you confront it and you talk about it and deal with it. That's being, facing it head on is, good for you, man.
Because now, I mean, when I first hit it, everybody wanted to throw medicine at me. That's everybody wants to take medicine, and it does work, but medicine kills your understanding of anxiety. And it's just for me. So I'm not talking about anybody else. That's the one thing too, is I don't want to preach, but there's definitely hope out there, and it's medicine's work. But if you can see somebody and talk to somebody and surround yourself with the best people, because if you're around people that take you down all the time and they think it's funny, they're not the people you want to be around. And it's hard to find really good friends. And, and when you think about it, tonight, think of all your friends and all that kind of stuff, the wise guys, but how many are really there for you at the worst of times? And, I know I have a few people, and, they've helped me be a better person. And I would never be where I am right now without my father, my mother, and brothers, and my friends around me. At different times they put up with
your
me.
wife. Include your wife.
Oh, hey, believe me. I thought I said that. Didn't I say my wife?
I think you said it first.
Yes. No. Hey, look, we're nowhere without them, right?
That's right. That's right.
So they tell us that every day.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Mayor. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Anytime, and good luck, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. It was good.
Thanks.
Good talking with you.
See you guys.
Take care. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Awesome. What a great,
that was great.
What a great interview.
Yeah.
Learned something new every day.
Several things. Yeah.
Several things for sure. So no, I like this series, Drew. This is going to be a good one. I think
it'll be fun, Dom.
Definitely open your eyes to the real person behind the character, if you will.
Yep.
That make this town what it is. So any more shout outs or anything like that, Drew? Or should we wrap this up and call it a night?
We can wrap it up, my friend.
Awesome. Well,
I just want to again wish you and your family not only a happy New Year, but a happy vacation. I hope you have great weather, make great family memories, buddy.
Yeah, man, that's the plan. I'll send you some pictures. Maybe I'll actually post some stuff on social media about this episode, and maybe some pictures from not Ocean City. But I have a good feeling that I'll run into Ocean City while I'm on vacation. I usually do.
Yep.
I usually do. I remember being at the Turtle Bay Resort in Honolulu, and someone being like, "Oh, you South Jersey? Yeah, Ocean City. I know Ocean City. That's where you're from." Like, yeah. So you never know, man. You never know.
Yeah.
So, well, everyone, Happy New Year to you, to your families, to everyone you care about. And we look forward to a great year here in 2024. This has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys. Fans first, babe.